The author spends a tremendous amount of time covering the concepts of post-positivism and positivism. For one, the fact is that instead of talking about how research has now moved beyond this solid scientific absolute definition of research, aka positivism, she can now cite specific examples of how to move beyond even talking about research and dwelling on it so much like so many academics do, and instead applying all of the research that academics have done in various neighborhoods and specifically citing actual ways that research has been able to benefit people and what they can do with the research in terms of the original three goals that she had for this article. She felt that this article would focus on negotiation, reciprocity, and empowerment. Now, let's go ahead and actually give these really distinct, tangible examples of that. And instead of spending so much time writing about this and preaching to the choir, so to speak, as somebody who is an emerging scholar in academia would like to know how all of this content is now being practiced in the communities that she is writing about in this article. This article is really limited in terms of the emphasis on only the frameworks of feminist research, neo-Marxist critical ethnography, and finally participatory research. So there could be just a greater use of different academic frameworks in order to back up her arguments in the article. The article is Eurocentric. I don't think that I need to spend much time talking about that because of the fact that so many of these articles that we read throughout the semester, so many articles that we will be bombarded in academia, really put too much emphasis on Eurocentricity. She's continuing to cite different authors who are primarily European American. A lot of the concepts, the themes, the content overall is just Eurocentric in nature. A lot of these different concepts that are being broached in the article are just not thought up and really applicable to non-quote-unquote white communities. The academic jargon really takes away from the central thesis of the author to provide an example in this article of how research can be used to uplift working class people and people that just do not come from an academic background. Well, if you could just simplify things, if you could just talk in layman's terms or write in layman's terms, this would be a hell of a lot more effective in terms of reaching your goal of relating to the common person and the communities that are being researched. And the last aspect of this section, she just really does provide these examples of how research can be used to empower communities, yet it just seems so hypothetical. It doesn't seem like it's really rooted in actual examples that are legitimate, that are authentic. It seems as though it's more abstract than anything else. It doesn't seem like it's really focused in terms of having a foundation and a backbone in the communities that she's talking about. For other academics that are building off of the concepts that she introduces in this article, they can actually provide greater details, would be able to back up their points with not only the scholarship that's provided by academia, but would also make an attempt to somehow integrate their findings with the communities that they are serving if they are going this same route where they're talking about research being something that's focused on praxis for working class communities. Let me go ahead and hear how this particular framework is being used in working class communities and the result of that there. I want to be able to read about how communities have embraced the frameworks that are in the article and how they've been able to use that successfully to uplift and empower and inspire their communities to finally establish a trusting and cooperative relationship with academics once and for all.